What is up, Pokemon Go family? It is your boy, TheGoulGuy, back at you guys yet again with another video, and today is the day of Spring Cup. Yes, the league has changed from the Great League that we had before, well, the Great League and the Premier Master League. Now we have the Spring Cup and the Ultra League back in PvP right now in the Go Battle League. But today we are going to be doing the Spring Cup, and we are going to be doing a team with a triple steel team. This is a triple steel team featuring my favorite one of my favorite Pokemon. I know I keep saying I have a lot of favorite Pokemon, okay? What can I say? All right, but anyway, we have the Shiny Shadow freaking Mawile. Yes, we are going to be using Shiny Shadow Mawile with the Fire Fang in the Spring Cup. This Pokemon is very anti-meta. This Pokemon is freaking amazing, but we're going to be showcasing it today with the Shadow Empoleon, and as well we are going to have a Ferrothorn in the back. So we have a Steel Fairy, we have a Steel Water, and as well as we have a Steel Grass Pokemon going to be going in here. And yeah, let's get into the stats of everything, the move set of everything. Yeah, let me show you that real quick. Get down. So first and foremost, we have our Mawile. Let's go Mawile. Now, first and foremost, we have the Mawile. This is our shiny freaking Shadow Mawile. One of the rarest Pokemon to get in Pokemon Go is a shiny Shadow, and we just decided to just basically like max this one out almost to the most part anyway, to Great League CP. Even though it has very horrible IVs, but essentially, you know, in the Great League, it really just matters if you have the right Pokemon at the right time, and essentially that is why we use this shiny Shadow Mawile. Might as well flex on them, right? Might as well use it instead of just letting it just stay in my Pokemon box, you know. Might as well use it. But anyway, it is a 1494 shiny Shadow Mawile. As you said, as you already seen, IVs aren't really the best, but we have Fire Fang, Power Up Punch, and as well as Play Rough. These are the recommended movesets for Mawile, whether you use Shadow or not, but that is going to be our Mawile there. And then as well, we're going to have Empoleon. I was really switching between the two, whether I should use Shadow or non-Shadow, but unfortunately my non-Shadow does not have Hydro Cannon. It only has Hydro Pump. So instead of actually using that, we're going to use our Shadow that actually has Hydro Cannon on it, doing a tremendous amount of damage, especially to those fairy types out there, which I mean pretty much is just going to be the Weezing, which Galarian Weezing is freaking everywhere. JB, what you doing back there? Alright, anyway, but basically Steel Wing does amazing damage to the Galarian Weezing, so this is why we're using Empoleon. Galarian Weezing is freaking everywhere in the Spring Cup, and Empoleon is an amazing pick to actually use, especially with this Hydro Cannon, water coverage, and as well as the Drill Peck for the flying coverage, which is amazing. IV wise, essentially not the best IVs in terms of PvP IVs, but essentially it still does the job. It still gets the job done, okay? And then last but not least, we have our Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn essentially is going to be our damage sponge for the most part, just because of the simple fact is it's the one that's going to be able to take the most hits out of the two Shadows that we're going to be using today. Basically, this is our Ferrothorn here, our Great League Ferrothorn. These are the PvP IVs, actually really good PvP IVs actually on this Ferrothorn here, with Bullet Seed, Thunder, and as well as Power Whip. Now, I believe PV Poke, if I'm not mistaken, recommends Mirror Shot. You can use Mirror Shot as well, especially against the, you know, the Galarian Weezing, as I said, is prevalent throughout, you know, Spring Cup, but we are using Thunder here because, like, I don't know why. I'm using two literally coverage moves that would be good against, you know, water types, but it's definitely probably better to actually use Mirror Shot against, you know, of course, like more neutral play. But anyways, that is the move set, but you know, do what you will, but that is what I have there. But anyway, let's get into the battles. Let's go. Triple steel team. Now, I will say, of course, if there's any ground types that come into this, which this league, if I'm not mistaken, is going to be water, grass, yeah, it's water, grass, and steel types that are in this league. So essentially, if there's any ground types, which I believe would be more like a Gastrodon or anything like that, I'm definitely going to be in trouble with this team. But Ferrothorn typically can do pretty well. But anyway, we have Mawile versus Mawile. Pretty much is going to be a Fire Fang down for the most part. I do get to the power up punch before the Mawile does anyway. We're going to try to get a shield, if not a KO. They do end up shielding, so we end up switching into our Empoleon. Now, with this Empoleon, I'm just going to take the hit here. I'm thinking it's going to be a power-up punch, but unfortunately, it's a freaking Play Rough, which is, yeah, very unfortunate. I didn't really think I was going to be able to take that much damage from a Play Rough, but unfortunately, I did, which definitely sucked. But I am going to be able to at least get to a charge move before I am taken out by this Lapras here, which is pretty much just going to sidewave us down, which is fine. It's a-okay, because we're going to switch right into the Ferrothorn, which is basically going to be able to wall most of the moves from this Lapras, unless it has Ice Beam. Ice Beam at least does a good amount of neutral damage, but I should be able to take it. They're going to use Sparkling Aurea, which I'm pretty sure they just have Skull Bash, which is probably the case. Looking at the battles now, I probably should have just farmed here, knowing that I pretty much have an advantage, but I just wanted to take the Lapras out, and guess what? There's just a Jellicent in the back, and basically only thing we really have to worry about is the Shadow Ball, but we still have 2 shields left, so it's really just game over at this point. They only have 1 shield left, and yeah, basically that Power Whip takes majority of the damage off on the health off of this Jellicent, which is insane. So yeah, we're just going to shield this up here because it's going to be the Shadow Ball. They don't even bait here. They just, I mean, they might as well just let it all fly out. And yeah, we basically just farm it down with the Bullet Seed, and we end up winning that game. Triple Steel is a very strong team, man. I can't lie. For the Spring Cup, for sure. I do see people using some ground types. Actually, Quagsire is a very hard counter to this team as well. I can actually see myself using Quagsire in the future. I might actually use Quagsire in the future. I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to see. There's a lot of grass types, so I don't know. I have to be cautious of that. All right, we got Shadow Mawile versus the Shadow Weezing. We're going to switch right into our Empoleon. As you can see, the Steel Wings doing so much damage to this Shadow Weezing, which is insane. They switch into the Gastrodon. That's the Mud Boy we're looking for right there. We're going to hit it with a Hydro Cannon. Boom, taking out half its health. This is why Empoleon is just such a beautiful Pokemon. We're going to try to get to another Hydro Cannon before they take us out, but unfortunately they end up Mud Slapping us down. It's either Mud Slap, yeah, it's Mud Slap if I'm not mistaken. They end up Mud Slapping us down, which is very unfortunate. Those quick moves really are super strong, but this is where Ferrothorn comes into play. Ferrothorn at least going to be taking neutral damage from the ground moves instead of super effective damage that it would typically be taking. We're just going to farm down the Gastrodon. Let's see what they end up bringing in next. Is it, what is it? Oh, it's Klefki, another Pokemon I definitely plan on using. Klefki, such a clutch of a Pokemon. I believe I was using it 2 seasons ago. Freaking Klefki is an amazing Pokemon. I can't wait to use that in this league. Basically, we're just going to switch back into the Mawile. Essentially, just going to farm it down. Was going to try to farm it down. They end up switching into the Weezing. We're going to shield whatever it has. It's a Sludge. I should be able to take it, but I was afraid it was going to have overheat. That was what I was afraid of, but looks like they only have Sludge. Yes, look like they only had Sludge. I really did not need to shield that whatsoever, but that's fine. Basically, they're going to switch back into the Klefki. We have the Power Up Punch, which should be boosting the Fire Fang, and I should be able to Fire Fang it the rest of the way down. If not, I still have the Ferrothorn in the back. Let's see what happens. And almost getting to the full farm down of the Klefki, but they do get to a charge move, and it is going to be a Play Rough, which I am going to be able to hold on as a part Steel type. Let's go. Let's go. But yes, Clef Key, man, that is such a I just love seeing how small it is. Like the fact that this little small like keychain of a Pokemon is still viable in this game is just so funny to me. But I already have one built. I cannot wait to use that Pokemon in this league, man. That's just gonna be so freaking fun. But anyway, let's go into the next match. We have Mawile versus Empoleon. A pretty interesting match for the most part. They end up switching into their Mawile and pretty much another Fire Fang down here. We're going to get to the Power Up Punch before they get to theirs. I'm going to try to see if they end up using a shield here. They might not use a shield knowing that it's probably a Power Up Punch. Let's see. They do end up using a shield, so we're going to go with our strategy that we did last time, going into our Empoleon. I'm not going to shield here. I know I can at least survive, even if it's a play rough. Let's see what it ends up being. It's a Power Up Punch, and that is fine with me. We're going to be able to, I think, farm the rest of the way down. Unfortunately, we cannot farm the rest of the way down. They do get to their next charge move, which is very unfortunate. So we're just going to use a shield here. I want to at least have somewhat of help onto the Empoleon, but we do come out with energy, which is very nice. Let's see what they come out with. We're 1 for 1 in terms of shields, and they come out back out with their Empoleon, but we have 2 Hydro Cannons compared to their like, you know, they don't really have that much energy, but they are using Metal Claw. If I'm not mistaken, Metal Claw, you can gain energy a lot faster compared to my Steel Wing, but I am still going to be able to get to 2 Hydro Cannons before they even get to 1 because I've already had energy from the last match, and we pretty much get the energy we pretty much get their health all the way down. I'm not going to invest in shield here. Might as well just let it go. Come back in with a Mawile, farm it down, just get some energy here, and they switch into a Lapras, and that is where Ferrothorn comes into play. Ferrothorn, such a strong Pokemon in this meta. Yeah, pretty much going to be able to wall most attacks, as I said, except for maybe an Ice Beam, which hits for super neutral. But yeah, looks like they only have that Sparkling Aura. We pretty much, oh, I forgot what just happened there. What just happened there? Oh, okay, yeah, okay. So basically what happened, the game cut off because I had a phone call. When the phone call happened, it pretty much just it stopped the game completely because, you know, it stopped the recording completely. I finished the game, but I had to take the phone call. Yeah, I unfortunately, for whatever reason, I keep forgetting to actually put do not disturb on my phone when I actually do these recordings. I apologize for that. But anyways, we're going to continue on the recording, but it's going to be from me. Actually, I actually won that game. I mean, as you can already see, we took out majority of the Pokemon. All I had left was the Ferrothorn. The Lapras only had the Sparkling Aura. We ended up taking that win, and now we have a 3-win now we have 3 wins out of the 5, and as you can see here, I put the do not disturb on before going into the next match. I apologize. Anyway, go get to the next match. So we are 3 for 3 with this all steel team. Let's go. Let's go. No more disturbances. No more disturbances this time. As I said, very much apologies. But going into the next match, let's see what we end up getting into. All right, we have the Florges versus our Mawile. Let's see what we can do here. All right, Fire Fang doing a good amount of damage. They are pretty much just going to be using Fairy Wind, which doesn't do that much damage to me, which is very nice. They switch into a Cradilly. We're going to throw a Power Up Punch onto the Cradilly, which does super effective damage. Of course, that's not the point of Power Up Punch. It's going to give me even more damage onto my Fire Fang, which is very nice. I don't think I shield here. I think I just let it go because I think most Cradillys are just going to use Rock Tomb, and it does use Rock Tomb, which is fine because we're basically going to boost our attack again with another Power Up Punch. And that should be able to farm that should let me be able to farm the rest of the way down, but it looks like they ended up using a shield, so I'm going to just have to invest in a shield, which is fine. We're basically shield for shield right now. Let's see if they end up switching out of this game or if I can just farm down the rest of the way. They end up switching into their Florges yet again, so pretty much what we're going to do, try to at least get a shield if I can. I don't think so because it's a power punch and it is a fairy, which is fine. We end up catching onto our Empoleon, basically gonna keep our Mawile healthy in the back. We're gonna catch a Trailblaze. Good thing Trailblaze is not that strong of a move, which is cool, but the second Trailblaze is definitely going to hurt. So basically we're gonna shield this second one here. Steel Wing doing a good amount of damage to this fairy Pokemon, which is nice. We do get a good farm down here and we do come out with a lot of energy. Let's see what they end up bringing in. What do they bring in? They bring back in the Cradilly. I definitely did not need to throw here. I forgot how energy dry the Cradilly was, but that is why I did not hit any bubbles. I knew this was gonna, you know, take out instantly, and then I switch into a Lapras. It is fine because we are gonna be able to still hit it with a Drill Peck, and we do still have the Ferrothorn in the back. As you can see, this team works phenomenally in sync. Empoleon as the switch, and basically Ferrothorn as the back, as the last line of defense in the back, because this thing is just super bulky. As you can see, a Skull Bash coming through, not doing that much damage whatsoever. It's a super strong move, Skull Bash is, but normal attacks don't do that much damage to steel Pokemon. So yeah, basically the Lapras is on its last leg here. I think that was its last shield as well, and we should be able to take it out. I don't think there's really much that they can do. What is this? It's a Sparkling Aurea. As you can see, look, nothing. It does nothing to this Pokemon. Ferrothorn, proving why it's top meta in the Spring Cup. I was basically playing with the I really didn't even have to hit any of the bubbles, but hey, we hit some of them. Didn't want to disrespect that much, but anyway, going on, I believe this is going to be our last match. Yes, going on to our last match here. Going on to the last one. Let's go. All right, last match here. Let's see what they bring out. It's a Mawile versus Mawile yet again. Everybody has the same solutions here, same team dynamic using Mawile in this league. It is a very smart choice for sure. Pretty much we're going to use the Power Up Punch yet again, see if we can get a shield. Let's see, do we? And we do. And I try to switch into Empoleon, but unfortunately they end up basically end up getting to their charge move essentially. So basically what we're gonna do, we're gonna invest in a shield and we're just gonna switch into our Empoleon, might as well, and just try to get a farm down. I'm just gonna take this Power Up Punch, don't want to use both of our shields just yet. So yeah, boom, Power Up Punch coming through, doing a good amount of damage, but we do have a good amount of energy. Let's see if we can get the shield back. They bring in a Jellicent. We're gonna be throwing a Drill Peck. Let's see how much damage we do with this Drill Peck here. Not that much damage, but a decent amount of damage anyway, and we kind of get it almost to the yellow, which is very nice. We still have the Ferrothorn in the back, which we most likely are going to be using for this Jellicent here. The Jellicent does have energy, so I do have to be cautious of that. And let's see what they end up doing. Can I get to the Power Whip? Unfortunately, they build up a lot of energy, so they're going to just throw here. We're not going to use a shield just yet. I should be able to take a Shadow Ball regardless. So that's basically what we're just going to do here. I'm going to throw the Power Whip here. They end up switching into a Lapras, and does it connect? It does connect. I believe they're still holding on to one more shield. Basically what I'm gonna do here, I tried to switch into the Mawile, but unfortunately I just did not get my counts right there, but that's fine. Sparkling Aria coming through. I could have definitely tanked that, but that's fine. Basically, I end up banking almost 2 power whips and then switching into the Mawile. The Mawile is just going to take the residual energy from this Lapras. So that when I bring back in the Ferrothorn, I should be able to farm the rest of the Lapras down without getting hit. And then they bring back in the Jellicent. They only have 1 shield left, and we have 2 power whips. You guys know what's going on, all right? So we're gonna throw JB. What you doing? Anyway, we're gonna throw the first power whip. We're gonna throw a second power whip. JB knows what it is. We're pretty much gonna KO this Jellicent. Boom. Jellicent KO'd, and we end up winning that game. Boom, boom. Let's go. But cool. We end up having a 5-0 in that game. That was amazing. Ended up getting a Morpeko, which is also dope. I almost thought this Morpeko was a hundo. I forgot what the actual hundo IV is. I think it's like 1100, something like that. But this was a 1090. Decent IVs. I usually keep them for trades anyway, just so I can get better PvP IVs. But yes, we end up winning that game. JB, calm down. We end up winning that game, getting us to 2300s, in the 2300s anyway. But yes, such a dope freaking team. Yeah, really love this team for sure. But definitely going to be trying out some of these other Pokemon. You got Klefki, Jellicent, and even some of the Mudslap boys, like the the Gastrodon. Definitely something to look into as a counter to a lot of the meta that's out there. But anyway, that is it. That is the end of the video. Definitely let me know what you guys think of the team down below. Triple Steel team, Shadow Shiny Mawile in the house. Let's go. I love when the league changes because it's just something new that we can actually, some new meta and everything like that we can play around with. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed the video, definitely leave me a like, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below your thoughts. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, peace out. JB, say peace out. All right, anyway, peace out.